The Buddhism of Buddha Sakyamuni is based on Raja Yoga. The reason why I can say so is that I could find such supernatural power of Buddha Sakyamuni. Buddha Sakyamuni levitated with his lower part of the body as water and the upper part of the body as fire. And all people were cured by watching this water and fire. This corresponds with the expression written in the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. This is a sutra of Raja Yoga. It is written in this book as follows: when a man adjusts apana vayu, he becomes invisible or becomes a state like water. And when a man adjusts samana vayu, he creates fire. So it is natural to think that Buddha Sakyamuni adjusted apana vayu and samana vayu, which made the lower part of the body water and the upper part of the body flame. By the way, this adjustment means the process of concentration, meditation, and samadhi. And we can do as Buddha Sakyamuni had done when we attain this samadhi. There also is a description of levitation in Yoga Sutra. It is said that one can levitate if he adjusts prana vayu, or that one can levitate if he adjusts udana vayu. I told you that the limit of Raja Yoga comes from the point that it all begins from denial. In Buddhism, there are systems of the practice of Raja Yoga. For example, there is a meditation of the 4 states of mindfulness in the Agama Sutra. They are: my body is dirty, sense is suffering, thoughts are impermanent, and the law, fixed idea, is not myself. They are based on the idea to deny everything. This is the system of practice to enter the so-called pratyahara in Raja Yoga. It is the same practice. Pratyahara is the state where one had detached from everything. Then how is this fault written in the Buddhist text? One man asked Buddha Sakyamuni, "I saw a beautiful girl, and the suffering occurred because I wanted to be loved by her, and I wanted to love her. What can I do to detach from this suffering?" Buddha Sakyamuni replied, "Don't see her, or don't meet her, don't speak with her. These are all denials." He says that it should be denied in such a manner. However, Buddha Sakyamuni didn't have to deny such a thing at all. For example, without any problem, he can meet with various women such as Kema, who was the queen of King Pinbasara, or Upalavana, who was considered to be a woman of matchless beauty. In other words, Buddha Sakyamuni didn't have any necessity to deny them. This tells us that the level of Buddha Sakyamuni is different from the attainment of Raja Yoga, which is based on complete denial. Buddha Sakyamuni had made the perfection of not only Raja Yoga or Kundalini Yoga, which comes next, but also much further yogas such as Astral Yoga or Causal Yoga. He had attained ultimate enlightenment. The causal world, the world of thoughts. Last video I spoke about Astral Yoga. Today comes Causal Yoga. The other name for this stage is the real enlightenment. In Causal Yoga, one transfers his consciousness to the body of essence to enter the high causal world. The body of essence is the body made of nothing but consciousness. There is no material at all but only thoughts in the causal world. I told you that the lower 1/3 is the threefold structure which is overlapped with the phenomenal world and the lower astral world. And the next 1/3 is the double structure which is overlapped with the high astral world. And the rest of 1/3 is the genuine causal world which is not overlapped with any other world. The lowest part of the causal world is the world of complete darkness. So-called eternal hell also exists here. Gradually it gets brighter as you go higher. And when you come up to the genuine causal world where there is no connection at all with the phenomenal world nor the astral world, you will find the world without any color. This is the reason why this world is called the realm of non-color in Japanese Buddhism. In this world as well, the higher you go, the brighter the world is. And if you break through the top of the causal world, you go into the Mahayana. The information of light changes the karma. In the causal world, information exists as light. Precisely speaking, the strength of light, color, and shape are the information. And based on this information, one thoroughly analyzes one's karma, and make the complete exchange of information as he had done in Astral Yoga. So the samadhi should naturally be deep because it takes time. I often say that 3 hours of samadhi is the condition for enlightenment because one cannot break through up to the causal world within only 1 hour. However, if he can enter samadhi for 3 hours, he can break through into the causal world. Now, I shall speak about the most important part. As the spiritual practice goes on, the speed to pass through the astral world gets faster and goes into the causal world. There are guardian gods in this phenomenal world and the astral world. In the beginning, they appear slowly, and we pass through those worlds by slowly speaking to them. However, as the spiritual practice develops, one passes through quickly as if he is going faster than a rocket. The guardians may quickly appear and then disappear. And this speed of passing through those worlds indicates the spiritual stage of the person. This happens because we don't need to take time for things that we already had experienced. And one can attain the top of the causal world in a short period. So we shouldn't be caught in various faces and sounds that we can experience while meditating. They all are only the points which you must go through. And you can go into the causal world by passing through these points. Ultimate enlightenment. 4 worlds of consciousness that exist simultaneously. Then let me explain the state of ultimate enlightenment after the perfection of causal yoga. Let's say that you are here and you can listen or can understand the state of the 6 realms of desires. Simultaneously, you can understand the state of the realm of form. Not only that, you can understand the state of the realm of non-form. And what's more, there is a consciousness, the consciousness of the true self, that is observing them from aside. When these 4 worlds of consciousness existed simultaneously, he is Buddha. Samadhi doesn't mean to detach from the physical body and fly somewhere else. The real samadhi is the state when one obtains the consciousness of the 6 realms of desires, the consciousness of the realm of form, the consciousness of the realm of non-form, and the consciousness of the true self. This is the state of the ultimate enlightenment. On the contrary, the consciousness of this physical body will be lost in the state of tamas dominant. Or lose the consciousness of the astral body or the consciousness of the causal body. Could you understand this? The fact is that we should obtain all this consciousness. I shall say it once again. The person is a Buddha if the 4 worlds of consciousness existed simultaneously. For the person who had finished either up to this point, he can freely reincarnate into the 6 realms of desires, the realm of form, or the realm of non-form. Or it is free not to reincarnate in either of these 3 worlds because he can attain Mahayana. Here is the essence of the law of the truth. Now I had told you the process from entering the stream of the truth up to the causal world. I have told them their state, faults, and advantages. Naturally, in the case of such a style of lectures, the understanding of each one of you should be different since some of you came for the first time and some of you had already attended my seminar 10 times. I have never told you in detail about the spiritual stages, or the level of yogas in detail. I tried to do so for the first time. I think I had found some of the results. I think I could provide you with things which can satisfy you. Today I have told you 3 new things. The first is that the source of the information in the causal world is determined by the strength of light, color, and shape. The second is that the key to the level of one's spirituality depends on how fast one can pass into the astral world from this phenomenal world. And the last is that the 4 worlds of consciousness exist when one had attained the ultimate enlightenment. If you remember them, you can clearly distinguish whether you had attained enlightenment or not. I often find people who claim themselves to the enlightened ones though they haven't done any spiritual practice. I meet them and I can understand that such people are completely in the devil's abode. They only went wrong by listening to the devil's voice of the inhabitants of the lower astral world saying, "You had attained enlightenment." I want you to be careful not to be like that. This is not a commercial project. For as many people as possible to come across this information, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment of 8 words or more.